and let's do the thing, man. Hold up. That dude Dev minute chat. We are live on Twitch, man. Twitch.tv/Fendler with my man, that dude Dev. We're going to throw this up on the two for a couple dozen people too, Dev. But man, the party is here. The show is here. And thank you for hopping out with me this morning, man. You look handsome.
Brother, it was a pleasure and an honor. Thank you for inviting me. I know we kind of have been working behind the scenes to make it happen because I stay a busy man, but I'll always make time for the congregation and the legend himself that is Fendler.
Oh my goodness gracious. And even after a heck of a show that you had this morning already, man. So this is like a continuation of the show. We were just wrapping up what turned into, I suppose, a relatively hot soda v pop debate. And, you know, we don't need to hop back down into the trenches. I let you know that while I was in your stream this morning, you let it slip. I think that you're with a dead serious, straight face out here ordering pop every once in a while. I thought that pop it was a phrase that had been lost to history, and I thought we had collectively moved on to soda. Not indeed the case.
No.
Not that. So you're really out here ordering pops. Mrs. Dev is too?
Yeah. Well, actually, apparently, I just learned today that my wife orders sodas. And that's if you're lucky. She really probably gonna order some sort of lemonade or tea, to be honest with you.
Right. But when it's but a soda rather than a pop?
Yeah. She apparently says soda instead of pop. But okay. You know, it is what it is. What you gonna do?
So some sense in the house then, at least. That's good. That's good stuff.
Okay. Got it. Yep. Coming from a New York Giants fan, but we ain't gonna go there.
Come on, it's regional, bro. It's just a little bit of regional loyalty. Dev, man. So one of the I want to hear about everything. Sometimes, you know, I feel like it's advantageous to go like chronologically. Sometimes like in order of importance. Like you have so much great stuff going on. So let me ask you first. You must have been an athlete at some point in your life. You are a big, strong ass dude. I was scrolling your Twitter the other day. You were visited what was this? A Marvel museum for superheroes? Because I need to get involved with that. What was it?
Wakanda forever.
Is that where you got the shirt from?
Yeah.
All right, and in this picture, you know, you look like you could indeed be the Black Panther, man, except maybe even a little more buff. You must have been an athlete at some point.
Yeah, so football and track came pretty early to me in life, and really played till probably within like the last, I don't know, when did I hurt my knee? Like 5-6 years ago, something like that.
And how old are you now?
I tore my meniscus, and I haven't really given it a shot since I got it repaired, but you know, I have the little one who keeps me active now. So
how far out from football are you? Said 5 to 6 years. How old are you? If I could ask.
32. I'm 32.
32. So you were playing. Yeah. So were you playing then like post collegiate, like semi-pro type of ball then?
Yeah. So I played semi-pro, and then like the year, unfortunately, that the Chicago Rush Arena Football League ended up folding. I actually got signed to their squad, and then obviously everybody kind of knows the history. Right before the season was supposed to start, they ended up unfortunately not being able to have the funding, and so they pulled the plug on it. But I played a decent amount of ball in my day.
I'm hearing that. Where did you? What positions?
I started out as a running back, then overnight had a growth spurt and turned into a wide receiver / tight end / defensive end.
And is this what you were playing like at the semi-pro post collegiate level?
Correct. Yeah. So semi-pro, I play wide receiver and defensive end. Yep.
Wild. And then a meniscus tear. I did my ACL, and when you got yours repaired, did they give you options for like I could choose between a cadaver graft, like getting a dead guy's basically tissue to repair it, or my own. How did you get your meniscus repaired?
So my meniscus, they actually went in there, cleaned it out, and gave me kind of like this thing to really kind of just let my body reheal it itself. So I had to stay off of it for 48 hours. And then they were like, all right, bet after 48 hours, we need you to start moving around. And a week later, like, I mean, honest to God, a week later, like walking and everything was it was actually crazy. Cause there was days that I was just walking around and like couldn't walk up my stairs without assistance. And then went in there, got the surgery done, and they're like, look, you just need to do this. They gave me like this really cool compression sleeve, and like just made sure that like I didn't get any sort of like weak muscles from the lack of movement for that 48 hours. And it was like a compression sleeve and an icing machine all at the same time. And all I had to do was fill it with water. It was actually really dope.
Yeah, it is dope.
And I did that. Like the first day, I literally did it basically like at 8-hour increments. The second day, you drop down to 6, and then you would just do it for like a couple days, and you would just keep lowering the increments. But like by a week later, I was walking around pretty comfortably. You know, and I just, at that point, it kind of just became like a mental block of like, man, I kind of know what I want to do later in life. I don't want to be crippled when it came to having Riley and stuff like that. So I just never really went back after it after that. So
I mean, I guess, like you said, like you're saying, your focus has changed, and like I can sympathize with that experience too. I know it's like it was a tough moment for me when I did my ACL as a freshman, and then as a sophomore in college, I did my hamstring. In the same leg, second degree. It wasn't a full tear, but you know, that at that point I was like, man, if I take another one of these, I'm gonna have trouble walking around. Like I want to have kids. I want to be a father. I want to be able to do things with them and be mobile and active, you know, into my later years. But I know that, you know, for me, giving up the game after less time than you played it, definitely, you know, it's like something that sticks with you. Is that like an experience you feel like you share? Is that do you miss the game?
100%. I tell my wife all the time I'll be out here looking for competitive flag football leagues. So they actually have some competitive leagues in like the Chicago area through this little I don't know what you would call it, maybe an organization or a group or whatever, but it's called the Chicago Sports and Social. And I went out there one year, but the team, you know, it's weird. Like, you know how like you know, you're a former player, right? Like that once you put me on the field, like I'm expecting like a level of competition, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not out there to play bitty bat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I did go out there the one year, it wasn't really being shown, wasn't really being showcased like that. So I have been kind of hesitant to try again because it is kind of expensive to do. You know, like if you was out here though, I mean, I know you say your hammy kind of hurt, but we'll get you out there, lace up your cleats again. You be all right. It's flag, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? So like,
bro, I know it.
Right.
I feel I've gotten to play like just a very little bit of flag, and then, you know, like I had some like back injuries that like took me like the rest of the way out. I got my crooked ring finger is off of a flag football thing that I did, but like some of it you had to like be careful about, and like you didn't want to do too much. But then I also played in, you know, they may as well have just been playing, you know, tackle without pads on, but I, you know, same thing. I was just at the point where I was like, man, I'm like taking a toll on my body. Like my focus is starting to shift to other things. And you alluded to the very same. Your focus is starting to shift to other things. Like, yeah, you had the mental block about it for sure. But you have a family, just an absolutely beautiful family now. And I'm sure that must be a big part of your focus in your day to day and what you feel is important at this point in your life.
Big facts. Yeah. There really ain't a day that goes by that I don't get to think about my little princess, because I am afforded the ability to be here with her and not have to worry about childcare and things of those nature. Especially, obviously, we just, you know, came out of the pandemic and all of that stuff, and so it's just been it's been amazing. But no, man, I am a blessed man, and I know that.
That's a beautiful thing. It feels like I guess just kind of by nature of like when we're having these conversations, but in the folks that I've talked to, like at some point or another, usually the pandemic comes up in conversation. It's often like, you know, a part of our recent story, or you know, like you alluded to, hopefully in a best case scenario brings you closer to, you know, your loved ones and your family. Did you, and hopefully it's good things, and you know, but even if it's not, how did the pandemic change like your day to day? It seems like in some positive ways maybe, but what about like a more complete picture of it?
Yeah, so a complete picture would, honest to God, be if I'm being just honest, being transparent, 70% negative, 30% positive.
Sure.
So during the pandemic, very early, I lost my father, not to COVID, but he just randomly, you know, the good Lord just decided it was his time to leave us. Literally had spoken to him on a Sunday and got a phone call on that very next Tuesday that he had passed away. So like and I was streaming. I was actually already kind of pretty regularly streaming at that point. And when he passed away, that was earth shattering. More so than even I thought that I could ever be ready for. So I stopped streaming for about 6 months. And it took some conversations with some big people that I respect and things like that to actually get me to fire back up. Which, you know, I caught a lot of blessings once I did fire back up. But then obviously, kind of like a lot of people, you know, I ended up getting furloughed for my job for a little while. By a little while, I mean 6 months. So like, not only did I have like, I lost my pops, but then like I got furloughed from my job weeks after that. So then I really just had like all this time, you know what I'm saying? To just really kind of, I didn't really have an escape. So like, it was tough, you know, but like, you know, I had my daughter and I had my wife and like, they were amazing. You know what I mean? So, that helped a lot. And then obviously this community on Twitch, like you guys, all of y'all, the congregation, like everybody that I interact with on Twitch, you guys have no idea how much you guys actually helped me through that time. And that was actually kind of how Windy City Sports was born, because when I was firing up, it was just because I missed those conversations with my dad. And so I would literally just fire up and just sit in front of the camera and talk to people about sports for a little bit. Right. And so that was kind of it. And then let's see. I got furloughed, lost my job. Then they decided to bring us back. And then ultimately by that point, I was like, I have no desire to be here. Right. I have no desire to be here because I was missing bedtime with Riley. It really wasn't lucrative on a financial standpoint. It really wasn't lucrative on a mental standpoint, as you know, I know you 100% can understand. So it just wasn't worth it. So I was too close to leave right away once they offered it back to me, because I still kept all of my tenure and everything like that. So I wrote it out for 4 or 5 more months, just to make it until my 5th year anniversary. And then I was like, all right, deuces, peace. Like I'm out. This ain't really what it is anymore. Cause it just took away, again, the way that, you know, stuff changed was I used to be an on the floor, face-to-face interaction type guy, and then they stuck me in the office to answer phones for hours on the day. Like that was not it. That was not the move. And I was making a 35 minute commute one way to go sit in an office and answer phone calls. Now this ain't a knock to anybody that does that. If that's your speed, that's your speed. Big love to you, more power to you, because it ain't for me. But it just wasn't what I originally signed up for. It wasn't how I was there for 4 to 5 years anyways. And so, you know, so ultimately we walked away from that, and then I just walked. I knew that I was going to walk away from that. Planned the biggest event that I had ever done on Twitch, with my December to Remember program, which we're going to make an annual thing now just because of how amazing it was. And then the support and like the love that came from that. As you know, I was a part of the Madden Live at that point, which was also a huge blessing that I caught last year. And then in the middle of the December to Remember event, I lost my dog. And like, again, like this it's a dog, right? But like, it's
no. Yeah, you don't have to give that disclaimer here.
No, yeah, I get you. But that was my ride or die homie. I had my pup for 13 years at that point. He was 13 years old, and had him from basically when he was like, you know, whatever, the 6 months old or whatever it is, once you can get him, until that point. And so that was, and then unfortunately, you know, like one of his last moments happened on camera. And so that was tough too. So like, it was just tough, man. Last year was tough, but like I said, I have an amazing pillars, and my wife and my daughter. And, you know, to anybody out there, like my daughter at this point, right? She's 2 years old, but like when I got upset, when I got the phone call about my dad, like all the joking and screaming around, like all that stopped. Like she stopped. She knew something was wrong right away, and like literally just climbed up on the couch and like just gave me the biggest hug and goes, "Daddy, you sad." And that even made me cry even more at that point, right? Because you're like, oh my God, how do you realize that at such a young age, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know, like when she said goodbye to Puma, like you knew that she knew something wasn't right. And like it was like, so like seeing her and like knowing that like she's well beyond what I expect any 2-year-old to be, and that's just facts. Like I'm not even trying to gas her up. That's just like I've been around a lot of kids, and like she's just on a totally different level with stuff. So
yeah.
But no, man, it was a tough year overall. I took a lot of steps backward, but then like I said, December made it easy. Like I had a plan, kind of had time to grieve and sit and think on it a little bit. And here we are in 21. And like we are, full steam ahead. I have not missed a day of streaming since December 1st of 2020. I told everybody that I had a testament. We're going 365. Have I missed the morning because of ISPs? Yes. Or power being out? Yes. But I guarantee you saw me later that day or whatever. I have not missed a day, and I plan to continue that. I enjoy being here with you all, and I love the fact that the community started in Madden, but we have evolved and matured into being more than just Madden, and that's huge for me also, because that burnout, if you only play a single game, is real serious. So.
Yeah, that's fucking remarkable, bro. I think the best case scenario of sitting and being able to talk to somebody like you, like this, is gaining perspective beyond what an outward persona or the showman that is Dev, and understanding you a little deeper. And it's strange because as I'm thinking about the things that I want to talk to you about today, I was trying to find forms and ways to ask what I'm about to say, but to give it like more words and make it like make sense in terms of a question. I was going to ask you, how are you happy? Like, how are you so happy all the time? And I was like, you can't like ask somebody that you don't hardly know that. You see an outward perception, and you understand very little, and from a third party looking at you as a father and as a husband and as a family man, like knowing that you've also walked the path now, that even in 15 minutes of talking to you that you have, and I know that, I can empathize with so much and sympathize with a lot too. And I think a lot of the congregation members that have gone, because, we lived a lot of this together, and a lot of common and shared experiences, that the more like we talk about it, the more we get to understand that it's always going to be more complex. And I never arrived at like the right way on like how to ask you like, bro, how do I be like a happy, like seemingly fulfilled, like family man and a streamer, and like got like, you just like, you just seem like you got it all together, and like knowing like, the fight behind it, is admirable. And I respect it immensely.
So, to go back, how am I always happy? That is not 100% true.
Totally. I know
it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, there's been my days that I've definitely booted up, and I've just been like, you know what, guys, like today isn't that day. But I to a degree, I pride myself on being a person of my word, and like I pride myself on my morning routine, and like as much as. Here's what I want everybody to realize. Like, if you're part of the congregation, and I'm 110% sure Fendler is gonna reciprocate or feel exactly how I feel. You all out there, our reviewers, our community, new, old, all of you all really give us the strength and the energy and the power to really go live every day, right?
Yeah.
And some of us, I know that Rafe said, hey, listen, it's hard. And it is hard. There are plenty of days that I say to my wife, like, man, I'm not doing it today, but then she says the truth. And the truth is like, not that people are relying on us, but like we've become a part of their routine. Right. So like I literally am so blessed that I have people, You know, like if I miss a midweek mix stream and I forget to say something about it, or I only say something about it in the morning and don't post about it on the socials or in the Discord, like I will have people in my chat that have typed out like, yo, did I miss something? Like, where are we at? What's going on?
Yeah, that
like,
feels good.
You it feels great, but then at the same time, it's like, damn, like I let that man down, or I let that woman down. Like they was looking forward to that little of excitement in their day or that type of thing. Whatever, I'm gonna be real for a second. I have, like, what you just heard in that 15 minutes is only really the beginning of it. Like I made some very, 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 very bad decisions as a young adult, right? And so it's easy for me to be positive because I could have, had I decided, been a statistic for an African American male in America, right? Even more so for African American male in the Chicagoland area, right? I made the bad decision of hanging out with certain people and taking in poor decisions in life, right? So I'm just gonna leave it like that. We don't have to go into the deep nitty gritty of it, but long story short is I made some bad decisions as a young adult. That required me to spend some time away from my family for without option. And so I had, you really got to make those decisions. Is this what you want to do, or are you going to not do this because you know you can be better than this? And some of you guys know because you hang out, like I have a tattoo of my grandfather's plane across my chest. And really it's because at that time when I really hit those crossroads and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, my grandfather stepped in and was like, listen, like, me and my dad had a much better relationship later on in my life. And like my grandfather was that man for me younger in my life. So like when my moms and dad was going through stuff, it was a lot for me. And I'm the oldest of three. And so like trying to keep myself together and then like the stuff, like it was just like everybody goes through shit. Excuse my language. I don't know what we're
let it rip.
Right?
No,
like,
you're good money. Yeah, no, let it rip.
But like, it was a choice of understanding that everybody goes through stuff, right? And so I had to really make the conscious decision on if I was going to continue to go through this stuff or if I was going to make the decision to stop and be different and not. And, my grandfather shared a story with me because, he unfortunately went through a lot of the stuff that isn't quite as prevalent today, but still exists today. And he said to me, he was like, look, they didn't want a brother to be a teacher. They didn't want a brother to be a principal. They didn't want a brother to be a superintendent, but look at where I'm at. Look at how, me and your grandmother lived. Look at how, I'm respected even to this day on this block because people have known me since I was younger and this, that, and the other. He's like, there's so many more opportunities out there. And he's like, and I made bad decisions too. It's just that back then my bad decisions would have ended up in my life being taken, versus you had, I made the bad decisions that I made. It cost me a year of my life, but it didn't cost me my life, and so from that point forward, I really was like, no shot that like I'm gonna be like that. And I've always wanted to have a family, and like I've always wanted, desired to do something bigger and better. And I think that was really kind of what I needed. Some people need to hit rock bottom. I hit my rock bottom. I was by myself. There wasn't anything anyone else could do at this point for me but me. And so that really kind of put life in perspective. And so
a turning point like no other, I suppose.
Yeah,
you had
facts.
You had to change things.
Yeah. So like when it comes to that whole like positive outlook, is because I can just really honestly sit back and think about where I am in life. Right. And like, again, it's not that it's any more difficult. I mean, I do believe that there are a little bit more difficulties out there, but everybody has them. Everybody has their vices. And some people, unfortunately are, I believe in being a product of your environment. And some people there are a lot of things fighting against you. Right. Mm-hmm. But if you make that decision every single morning, and when you put them 2 feet on your ground, or whatever, you start your day, you will do everything in your power to be better than you were yesterday. So that's what makes it easy, because I really am proud of myself. Not in a cocky way, but just like,
As well, you should be.
I really wanted to make sure that like I could even have these type of opportunities to be here today with you guys. You know what I'm saying? To even afford myself to have Riley and her not see me behind a pane window, or whatever the case is. So
because maybe for a second there the odds were not indeed in your favor, and it seems like you had to intervene and interject into what could have been to create what is now. And it's like, I feel like I'm getting a better and better perspective on the effort that you put in, but also the culture you create, and the type of people you bring into your chat, and the experience that you make a part of a dev stream. So I'm wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about that. What's important to you as far as the culture that you want to create in a stream? What do you want to, you mentioned before that kind of replicating the experience of talking about sports with your grandfather was an inspiration for Windy City Sports, but I wonder if you could tell me a little bit more about like what's important for you to perpetuate in your stream for someone who wants to come and spend time with you and Mrs. Dev and your family, really, by extension of being there with you.
2 words really, positivity and passion.
Love it.
Yeah, positivity and passion. So like we really our community is called like the Straight Group of People, SGP. But we're also like nicknamed
SGP is Straight Group of People. I'm sorry, I didn't know what the acronym was. I had seen it before.
So SGP, yeah. So SGP stands. SGP actually means a lot of things. It actually is my business name. So it's actually Straight Groovin' Productions, right?
Okay, dope.
But as a play on that, we are the Straight Groovin' People.
Like it.
And so so the SGP. So we also have, so like that's what our community is called. But then like our nickname is the 200 percenters, right? So 200% every day. If you live with 100% positivity and 100% passion, you will reap whatever benefits you seek. And that has kind of been something that has stuck with me ever since then, right? So like I have always lived with 100% passion and 100% positivity, and here we are, right? So like it is something that I believe in, because it's something that I do day in and day out. And sometimes, don't get it twisted, sometimes that passionate side isn't always quite as positive.
Sure. You got to be honest though with yourself in the moment, right? That's okay.
Yeah, but like there's those tough conversations that need to be had, right? There are those moments that like everything isn't peachy keen, but if you always try to look at a positive outlook or try to attack a problem in a positive way, I almost 100% can assure you that it's going to be so much better overall than if you are in the mindset of, oh God, what is going on here? Like blah, blah, blah. If you sit back and really evaluate, right? Like take something as small as like, I don't know. Oh, take something as small as I got a copyright strike. Because my dumb self thought that it would be okay to share Formula One racing with my community live while the race was on.
Oh no, damn, we can't do that. No.
And they shut me down so fast, bro. I had no idea. We got like 3 or 4 laps in or whatever, and next thing I know, the whole stream just shut off.
Nope.
And I couldn't log back in, right? I was like, oh snap. Okay.
They found me. I didn't think you all paid attention. Right? I didn't think you were listening.
But like, so like, instead of being all like bent out of shape and all butthurt and blah, 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 right? So like, what do? We already have the Windy City Sports channel associated. I've got a lot of the people in the Discord. I can, talk about it on Twitter. Hey, what do? We fired right back up on the Windy City Sports channel. And we went on that channel for those 2 days that my main channel was on timeout. And it was what it was, right? Like, hey, I learned from that.
What are you going to do?
But instead of getting all like butthurt, bent out of shape, worrying about this, worrying about that, you just stop. You assess the situation. How can we turn this into a positive bet? Number 1, hey, we don't show F1 stuff on stream again.
Got
right?
it. I read you. Okay, fine.
And number two, look, we already had the second channel established. A lot of people are following it. They already know about it. If our numbers dip for a little bit, like no big deal, but people are going to be like, hey, what's going on? Did that set me back a little bit? Sure. But I didn't freak out, and I was able to really just, like I said, think about it in a positive outset. Like, here we go. Like, boom, 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 boom. As opposed to you flip that script and you just freak out, right? Like, say you freak out and you're like, oh man, they're gonna this, they're gonna that. You're sitting down, you're blah blah blah. I wouldn't be here talking about how I've already made it almost 300 days. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be talking about it. You know,
you would have taken the internet day off already.
Like, if you really honestly, so like, I don't just mean that moniker. I don't just say it. Like, what you get from me is so raw and so real. Like, sometimes even my wife is like, she wishes I would reel it back in a little bit. And I'm like,
she gets to see the most of it though. That's why.
You know, right? Yeah, because sometimes she'll tell you, she'll be in the stream in the morning and she'll be like, "Oh, okay, chat. Guess I'm learning stuff today with you because I've been married to the man for 5 years. Didn't know this."
No, not like this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So. No, man. So like, that's the biggest thing. Like, I want those doors to feel open to anybody and everybody. I don't give a dang if you're anything, right? Nothing. I don't see a lot of the things that the world clouds us to believe that you need to see, right? I don't care. I don't care your sexual preference. I don't care what your religion is. Totally. I don't care if you're black, white, Haitian, Asian, blue, purple, green from Mars. I don't care. If you come through my chat and you are passionate and you're positive, you're engaging, and maybe you're not engaging because you're a lurker. Great. We appreciate our lurkers.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
all good.
You're not causing a ruckus. You're not being disrespectful. You're not being rude. Like, bet, hey, then there is a space for you all day, every day. But the moment that you come in here saying some out of line stuff, like, I'm probably gonna let it slide once, depending on how severe it is that you say out of line stuff. Like, come in here with a bad joke, and I'm kind of already in a mood, and you like
might get the timeout.
It is what it is, right? And I don't even mess with timeouts. A lot of the times, like, no cap, like, if you catch a ban, I'm not even reading the request. Ain't no ban court over here.
We'll at least look at the request. I mean, we banned first, ask questions later, Dev. We're on that same page, but we'll at least take a look at the. Well, not me, but somebody will. I don't know.
I don't even bother. Like, straight up, I don't even look. I got probably about 25 ban requests right now. Guess what? Ain't never gonna get read. Or I go in there because the little green dot is annoying me when I log in my creator dashboard thing. I just very quickly just like nope. Because obviously I feel like it was for a reason. I ain't gonna ask no questions because honestly I don't care, and it's the internet. If you want another shot, make another account. If you
facts, you could always make a burner. I think we probably leave like 80% of those ban requests in the gulag and release maybe 20. Like, if you make us laugh, like, I mean, you've seen it, you know the rules.
And not to go to the gulag. That's a lie. That's a lie. I just lied to you. I did. Remember, I vouched for my boy. I had
you did actually get someone out the log,
and I vouched for him for you. I can't remember his name right now, but I did. I vouched for him, and I was like, "Nah, man, listen. I think you just caught him, you know, on a different mood or whatever. But that's not how he is over here. Like, give him a shot." I forget who it was, but yeah, I do remember that. But other than that, everybody else go to the gulag. But that's just how I am.
True indeed. Yeah, I guess. But I mean, even if you get 5 like good accounts out of their lifetime, like I'll just not even bother with it. All right, so we're not going to indeed be seeing any Formula One racing broadcast live on the channel. I suppose that's good news for the whole longevity operation. What will indeed we be seeing on the channels over the coming months? I know we've been getting a lot of MLB. Love the candy ranking list went crazy this morning, but like, and I'm sure you're gonna kick over to Madden 22 now, but like, where are we at right now with your content, and like, what direction are you moving kind of over the next weeks and months?
So the biggest focus for me right now is blurring the line between ESPN and Twitch. Okay. I believe that there is a large opportunity for that. Yeah. So you will see an emphasis on additions to Windy City Ringside, which is on Monday nights, which is all about pro wrestling, and Windy City Sports, which is on Thursday nights, which is all about the wide world of sports. It will have a pretty large emphasis.
Are these both on the
'cause
Windy
that's the
City
biggest.
Sports account? I'm sorry, are these both on the Windy City Sports account?
So the Windy City Sports account will now officially be a burner account,
Okay,
just in case we have an issue.
Understood.
But now everything will actually go through my main account.
Okay.
Biggest reason that is Twitch actually acknowledged my work in the sports talk field, and so they actually invited me into their sports accelerator program.
Let's go.
A lot of people don't know, and maybe a lot of people do know. I don't know how much you research or don't research, but back when Amazon bought Twitch, Jeff Bezos said back then, 4 or 5 years ago, that he wanted just chatting or just chatting equivalents to be more than 50% of Twitch, which is why the hot tub meta is so strong right now, because it's not game related.
Right.
They believe in the
one of the reasons.
It's ridiculous, but we'll talk about it another day.
Yeah, right.
But their philosophy is that person-to-person interaction, even if it's happening through a screen, holds more value than video game content.
I would tend to agree with that.
I 100% agree with it. One of the biggest rules. So I have a couple rules and things that I have written on here for videos that I am going to inevitably get to working on. But the one that we are working on now that I've kind of been scripting is interaction is key. That will be the name of the video. So be on the lookout for that, chat. YouTube,
love that.
Dude Dev. Interaction is key because it is your interaction with your community will take you so much further than if you are a top 100 player in Madden. So
Agreed.
just throwing that out there. But anyways, so they acknowledged my work with Windy City Ringside and Windy City Sports. And so they invited me to this program to help grow the Windy City, or not the Windy City Sports, but to help grow their newly introduced category of just known as sports, whether it's sports talk, certain watch alongs. Like on Thursday nights, I'll be able to do watch alongs of the Thursday night games because I got that license for the NFL through Amazon. Which I think is awesome.
That's huge.
Yeah, so like that's awesome.
That's huge.
And then, like other things that they're working on. So like they had a huge contract negotiation for the Euro that just happened. So there's some big streamers out there that are doing watch alongs with that.
Yeah. Oh no, do we get a drop, Dev?
Doing with that and appreciated it, so they put us in there. So it's me. Shout out to my guy Toxic Joker. He is my co-host on Windy City Sports and on Windy City Ringside. And then also, if Shake is still here, he might be sleeping because he's got a little bit different of a sleep schedule. But shout out.
I think I saw him pop in earlier.
Shaker. Yeah. So shout out to him. He is our third co-host for Windy City Ringside, and he's our Sal Palantonio, if you will, for Windy City Sports. So I got a good group with those guys, and so we've just been working on increasing the production value for those right now.
Okay.
But yeah, the regular morning streams ain't going anywhere, man. You're right. We're in MLB. The SGP Airlines will be taking off on July 27th. For those of you that don't know, I'm a huge fan of Microsoft Flight Simulator, so that coming to the Series X is awesome.
Oh, I am in to watch some of that, Dev. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we'll be taking to the skies with that. Formula 1 2021, the video game, the good stuff that we can put on stream is
capturable. That stuff will make it. That's good.
Yeah, that stuff is dropping later this month, and we're just, we've kind of divulged into being able to, we still grind what we grind, right? So we do play majority of MLB right now, and we will majorly play Madden when it drops out, but like just to kind of break away a little bit, we do some other stuff. I mean, there's been plenty of stuff on the channel from Spider-Man Miles Morales to
love it so much. Is that not one of the better games you played recently, Dev?
100%.
Holy,
it was great. Yeah. We were playing a game called Operation Tango, which is a co-op spy espionage game. Me and my buddy from high school, he would get up and stream it with me in the mornings. We were doing that for a little bit. That was a lot of fun. What else have we done? We kind of dabbled in a little bit of Hitman 3. We played through Hitman 3.
I played a couple of Hitmans
on the stream, and like, yeah, so we dabble in stuff, man. As games come out that I'm interested in, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna test them out on stream, and people are either gonna watch it or they don't. But again, it's more about the interaction you have, and the more you have fun, the more likely you are to, you know, to bring an audience with you anyways. So
yeah, I completely agree, and I'm pulling up in the background as you're talking to us. I pulled up on stream the photo of your setup that you posted recently. Here, you guys get enough of me during the week. This is, I mean, this gets me going. My heart rate is up a little bit, Dev. That is just absolutely beautiful. A gamer's paradise. You got the Series X, you got the PS5, you got, is that the chat monitor in the middle there? Is that why it's like kind of inverted like that?
Correct.
Oh my God, bro, it's so good. It's so good. The big stream deck, the big mixer. This is beautiful. Wait, what goes where? Can you take us on a brief little tour here?
All right, so on the far right hand side is just the OBS and like obviously like your standard desktop screen.
Right.
So that's just kind of that. The middle screen is just for the chat. It just makes it easier since it's centered right next to the camera for me to kind of keep
that should be the focus, right?
Yeah, overall.
Yeah, we agree on that.
And then obviously the left is my little 28-inch monitor, which shout out to anybody that wants to go ahead and maybe help your boy get a new monitor. There's one out there, you know, it's $8.99. I'll take one. I ain't afraid to ask. Anybody out there want to hook the brother up and maybe donate a little bit?
You gotta ask, man.
Hey, I ain't afraid, okay? I'm trying to pay for Mexico. I'm raising my daughter. Hey, it is what it is. I'm just telling the truth.
Don't be shy.
But no, yeah, it's just you know what it is I kind of not told. Let me rephrase what I'm about to say. I didn't tell anything. I spoke with my wife, had a conversation.
Good adjustment. She's right next to you, isn't she? She's got to be.
No. She's upstairs with Riley.
Mrs. Dev will mess you up, dude. You better not. Yeah.
Yeah. I spoke with her and I said, listen, like one of the things that will inevitably help me, like, you know how everybody's kind of got the things that like makes a difference. One of the things that helps me is like having my space, like my area complete. And so this all has been gathered over time, right? This didn't all just happen. I didn't just wake up on a Thursday and like order all this stuff. No.
Right.
It's all happened over time. But you know, I just told her like straight up, I was like, look, my new focus is going to be really getting into the YouTube content. And I want a space that like we will really like the streaming is cool. Let's change it up a little bit. Get in, you know, I got a new desk in here and you know, I got all the Elgato things. Shout out Elgato if you're listening. Holla at your boy. I got you. Okay?
Anything you need, let me know. Let me know.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I own every product they own, like no cap.
So I see the lights.
The only product of theirs that I've never owned is I've never owned an external capture card. So when I got into streaming, I immediately went into the computer and caught because I built my computer around Black Friday. So I bought their internal 4K 60 whatever it is right out of the gate.
Right.
I've never owned an external capture card, but I've got 2 Keylight Airs. I've got a ring light. I've got the Stream Deck XL. I've got, you know, 2 of those capture cards now because I wanted one for each console. I've got the Camlink Pro, but 2
of the capture cards, 2 of the Big Daddy capture cards. You're a wild man.
Yeah, well, you know, again, I like to. I'm a firm believer in making my life easy.
Totally.
And the less moving parts, the better, right? So the less cable swapping I've got to do, the less that like I just want to be able to press a button, stuff works. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. So
I'm glad to see that even for all these beautiful bells and whistles, though, that your cable management is about looking the same as mine does. Bro. Nice. I'm with that. No, it can't be, you know what I mean? It can't be all. That's a the little dose of real. I like that. I like that
you're gonna get it. I got stuff down in like braids and whatever and all that, but like it's tough, man. Cable management. I mean, you could literally spend 2 days on cable management if you wanted it to be right. But not only are you gonna spend 2 days, you're also gonna spend $300 extra. Right. Stuff to hide everything. And I'm just like, look, I ain't even seeing them. I'm too tall. I don't see underneath my desk unless I want to, anyways.
Agreed.
I don't care.
Exactly. Yo, me too. When I walk into the room, I could see it for a second, and I just immediately, nope, not going to do that. Not going to deal with that. Go ahead, sit down. And from where I am here, it's just shoved back. You know what I mean? Just like as far back as you could possibly get it away from me, the better for it. So you said that. So obviously, you're not starting out with like the just a really beautiful blessing of a setup here. What do you think? Bare minimum? Do you think anybody can get off the ground streaming without a face cam these days? Like, what do you think bare minimum is to get somebody off the ground if someone wants to be a streamer?
Yes and no. Yes and no, you can. I think if you start out without a face cam, you got to be willing to talk on your microphone, though. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't think that you could go without a face cam and not be a good talker, because at least with a face cam, if you're not a good talker, for those folks that are actually watching, they can at least see it in your face, right? Because no matter what, like, we're all, whether it's focused or whatever it is, there's emotion still being shown there. Mm-hmm. So like, if you don't have that, I think it might be kind of hard, right?
I would tend to agree,
that in my opinion, you got to be willing to talk if you don't have a face cam. But you can, I mean, if you're, you can be charismatic and show everybody, and then it becomes a thing, right? Because then it becomes like, oh man, I really wonder what this dude or gal looks like, and it becomes kind of like a mystery. Because just naturally as humans, we will start to listen, I'm just going to throw it out there. The amount of people in my chat that I thought were black that I found out weren't absolutely blew my mind recently. Okay. There were literally ways that people would talk in my chat, and that probably sounds bad too, right? But let's just, whatever it is, what it is. We all make our assumptions a little bit, right? And literally, I have like Joe, my guy Joe, I for sure Hundo P thought that man was Caucasian. He added me and my wife on Facebook.
Not indeed. Not.
My man had dreadlocks. My man was a black man with dreadlocks. Like,
very much incorrect, Dev.
I was sick, bro. I was like, no shot. And like, there's a couple other guys in my community that I was like, oh yeah, listen to the way he says this and that, and like uses these contexts. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, that's a brother. And they'd be like, we actually made a game of it one night. Like, people were sending me pictures of themselves via Discord, and I was like floored. I was like, OMG, I'm dead.
Everyone putting their preconceived notions to the test. That's pretty hell. That's a good thing. I've had like, guys look differently than I thought they were going to look. I had my man, Nogs. See now, and you have me bugging that. I'm not sure if I've been saying Nogs' name the wrong way the whole time. No GGs, from your chat also. I think he popped in and said hello to you this morning. Put up a picture. I was like, this man is handsome as all hell, and I don't know why. It's not like I expected him to not be handsome or something like this. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but he put up the picture. I was like, bro, that is not indeed what I thought you were gonna look like at all. My goodness gracious.
Man, listen, when I first saw Boxy and Adam, AJ, Boxy and AJ. I was like, oh, it's a good thing y'all are overseas, because I might have just lost my wife type of stuff. Like, I was like, this man, hair flowing and like,
stay away from me. Are you kidding me?
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
holy
listen,
cow.
It is what it is. Stay over there and enjoy overseas, brother. That's why you over there, you sexy.
But then every once in a while, you get the guy that looks exactly like you thought he was gonna look. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you get both
profile.
of them.
They have like the Discord profile picture, or they add you on Twitter or something like that, and you're like, oh yeah, got it for sure. Yeah. Oh, you know who was the biggest? You know who the biggest imposter was? No cap, and I'll bust him out because he comes over here. Shrades. Listen, bro. Let me tell you why.
What was that?
I really thought Shrades was like, whatever, this is gonna make me sound bad, but it's the truth. I really thought Shrades was like that troll teenage white kid.
Yep. I thought he was an older white guy. I thought he was an older white guy.
Man, he is a grown looking, sexy black man. And I was like,
mother father out here.
MG.
Yeah, that was a fucking curveball. That was definitely a fucking curveball.
he actually added me on Twitter, and my wife had to actually tell me it was Shrades because he added me on Twitter, made like some really, really terrible take on a tweet, and like kind of was going back and forth with me. And I was just about to be like, you know what? This is internet. I don't know you. You're done. And Kelsey was like, no, that's Shrades.
You're like, that's Shrades?
I was like, you're lying. And she's like, no, really, go click on his profile and look, it's in his profile. And I was floored, bro.
Yeah,
floored.
I was also absolutely blown away. The happy birthday thing, I don't know, dude. I'll say it like it is. Like the happy birthday joke line just felt like a middle-aged white guy joke line that I thought that they were.
No,
I thought
every interaction with him in every stream I'd ever been in, and like the way that he trolled, I was like, no shot. Like no shot that this man is a grown brother chilling, got his life together and everything like that. Like no shot. And then I come to find out, and I was floored, I don't know, bro.
Yeah,
floored.
Yeah, that's actually wild. All right, Dev. So we've had this Madden year. Pivoting a little bit, we had, I think, we had a good handful of Madden streamers earn partnership. You have to be on this MF and short list, bro. What do you think about it? What is, because I know like you shared with us some experience of, you know, stepping in and out as life circumstances changed and you had to take care of yourself and your mentals, and you know, you've fought fucking hard, but where's your, you deserve it, I think. Where's your head at with it? Is this the year?
I would love it to be the year. Is it my big audacious goal for 21? It is one of them, yes.
Okay. I was going to ask, does it mean something to you? Is that something that you do want to accomplish for the channel?
You know, can I be honest?
Yeah, that's why I asked you.
I just want the extra emote slots.
That's not a bad answer, bro. That's seriously not. There's zero wrong with that. That's
like,
valuable.
We come up, like, we have so many moments in chat that, like, we're like, oh, that could be an emote, or that could be an emote. Right. And it's like, well, how do I really cycle all of these out, right? And then, like, you add in the fact that we have, like, the couple extra. Now, I will say the emote locker with instant uploads, that's clutch.
Sick. That is dope.
Clutch. Because at least now when I do Windy City Ringside or Windy City Sports, I can do the quick transition of the different emotes. But like, I mean, like, listen, I don't care what anybody says. Fendler's got some of the best emotes on Twitch. Okay.
Let's go, Dev. Let's go. That's huge.
I'm giving you your love. Okay. Woo! You do have some of the best emotes on Twitch. However,
dope. Okay. Then there's a but. Okay, go on, brother.
Most recent emote that I made of Kelsey, y'all.
Yeah, that goes nuts.
I need people to use it. Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
When we have crazy plays and you are just floored and you are looking for something to say. Thank you, Joe. Joe just put it in the chat. We need those. I need those spam.
I'm also spamming it.
Fantastic. Okay. We need that around the Madden community. I want my wife to be famous, but for a good reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's top tier.
The one. Okay, that's the one right there. So like when moments like that happen, like there's another one that happened on stream today that I'm sure I could turn into an emote of myself. Like there's just those ones that like, and to me, I actually think that those are cooler than like, you know, the OG like looking Twitch emotes. You know what I'm saying? Like these emotes to me are hell. Like they are hell. Like, they're better. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at. So
you got good contrast on that too. She just pops out from the background.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I worked on that one. But no, I am like super. Like the biggest thing is I just want the extra emotes. Is the check mark cool? Yes. Do I want the like notoriety that comes behind it that like showcases that I'm quote unquote successful? Sure. But as you know, and as I know, it doesn't change our pocketbook.
Don't touch my pocketbook. Nope, it sure doesn't.
Exactly.
Don't help me.
So like, to me, it's like I'm very goal oriented, and like I don't know, I've got that imposter syndrome, and like I do these YouTube videos of like tips for streamers, but then in the back of my head, I'm always like, well, why would they believe somebody who's not partnered? right? Why would they take the information that I'm giving them, even though it is valid and I think very good information, like take it to heart if they ever decided to come click on my channel and it's missing that purple check mark, right? So that's also why I want it, because I think that I would prefer to do more of those type of videos versus, because everybody and their mother does gameplay videos.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Everybody and their mother's doing the method videos. Like, I think that I have a way with just like speaking to people and like level of like realness behind it, that people do take what I say, you know, and it kind of sticks with them. But like, right, the legitimacy behind it, it's like, okay, cool, what he said was dope, let's see what he's about. And then the first thing they see is that I'm missing that check mark, and they're like, dude, whack, he just out here saying
never
stuff.
mind.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really more those two things, specifically the emotes, and then kind of like you know, the legitimacy behind what I'm saying. So, but
I feel that.
I'm a ways off though. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I check my numbers monthly. I'm not a dude that's in there every single day, because again, it's not about, you know, the money or anything like that when it comes to it. Is it great to have? Sure, but it's not about that, right? It's more about the community and having fun with you all and everything like that. But I check my numbers every month, you know, and I'm still a ways off, you know, and I've thought about maybe changing my time, but then when I don't, you know, I stick where I'm at and things like that, and we grow, we get new people, you know, and I'm getting a little bit better about being on social media and the TikTok and the Instagram stories and stuff like that.
All this other stuff that we got to
you know, there's
tie
other
into
stuff
the thing
that just, you know, and I'm working on being more active on Twitter. You know, I kind of want a Twitter footprint like the young Finn got. I mean, shout out to Finn. He got me followed by one of the big boys the other day just for me being a part of the FendTalks.
Say word.
Dubby followed me the other day after he saw that me and you was cool. So like,
let's
shout out to that.
I don't think no. That's on your own. GP,
but like,
that's dope.
You know, so we're there. That's where I'm at, and just focusing on. I just focus on, like you said earlier, being the best version of me, showing up for everyone every day, and you know, just continuing to believe that, you know, if I stay consistent, I stay good, like stay in the right mind frame, which we all know is not an easy battle, but I do what I do what I do. And this is going to make me sound terrible because like you and Rafe talked about this on Monday, right?
I doubt that it will, but go on.
So the truth is, I don't consume a lot of Twitch. Like when I'm not here in the morning, like, you know, like me and Riley will enjoy some Fendler, right? We do.
Sure. Nice.
You know, we enjoy our trumpet in the morning, or our, you know, we're fans of like DC, you know, or like if you're one of the boys in my community, like, you know, we watch Chief Redbeard when he's on in the morning sometimes, and like, to be completely honest with you though, like I do not consume a lot of Twitch. And a lot of it is because
I don't think it's necessary to. I know we were talking about it in terms of, the context might, if I'm remembering correctly, might have been more like, you know, offering ways to get a channel like off the ground. Like yours, needless to say, is indeed off the ground. But I understand that too. You know, a big part of what Texas Rafe and I were talking about was like also setting limits. So there's always going to be, you know, you could be in too many places and let it get away from you very quickly. But I mean, you know, in theory, would I like to be in more places? Sure, I guess. But at the same time, like I am also comfortable, you know, limiting my time on Twitch, you know, fairly stringently outside of the time I'm spending on stream, because, you know, there is Flocka. Because there is, you know, as a family man, you know it even better than I do. There, you know, your time could be better spent in other places. There's nothing like, you're still bringing an S tier show when you boot the thing up, even if you haven't. And then that like doubles down on this idea that seems to be fairly prevalent of like trading time, or like trading a tab as though it were currency. And like there's been like a lot of that swirling around on Twitter, and I think it's mostly fucking trash. And I think it's mostly, not in all cases, but in some cases, it's a means to guilt somebody into consuming content that they ordinarily wouldn't because the content's not good enough, but you still want to reap the benefit as though it were good enough content to reap, this for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I also, what do you think about this trading support thing?
The trading support thing is, I'm going to stay as neutral on it as I have. I am not for it. I'm not against it. I don't particularly partake in it. I don't think it is I don't believe it is a long-term success.
Fair.
Right? Because
agreed.
The moment that you don't have the time to return, and that's literally what that relationship was built off of, what's the point? Right? Mm-hmm. So like, and here's the thing, like, I believe that you can be impactful by being genuine and still not let's just be real. Like, Finn, on a real serious note, and as much as I know, I'm not here all the time. I'm not here a lot. But when I am here and I am able to give that time, I'm here, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, I'd much rather be here and be about what I would like in my community versus just like being here just to say, hey, I'm here.
Right.
Like, for you to just be like, oh, Dev's here, and then I drop off. Versus, and that's like, Dev's here and he spent an hour here, was engaging, was positive, was able to feed up and gas up everything going on.
Right.
And then if I'm gone for 2 or 3 days or whatever, but then you'll remember that hour a lot more than if Dev was here Monday for 10 minutes. Dev was here Tuesday just to say hi. Dev was here Wednesday just to say hi. Dev was here Thursday just to say hi.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I do go MIA. The likelihood of you remembering that a week later, highly unlikely. You're probably going to hit me with oh man, it's been a while since I seen you. Come to find out that you actually saw me 3 days ago, because I didn't add anything to your channel. Right. You didn't remember it.
Right, exactly. You came in, you dropped your own emotes to take attendance so that you knew I was there, and you stay on my raid radar, and then you at, my 3 biggest supporters of the channel because you see them in there having a conversation, and then you leave and you go do the same thing in the next chat. Like, I would also tend to, but it's also, I understand that, how lucky I am to, have the partnership. I don't necessarily need the tab that might benefit somebody else. So it's not like I have a problem with it because it doesn't hurt anybody, but I would rather you just kill the tab for me. And if I see you for 10 minutes once a week or once every other week and you hop in and we exchange some genuine messages, that's great. I remember, for example, you personally, I remember it was one time that you came in on Unbanned Court because you were active and engaged and you thought it was entertaining, and I remember that feeling. I was dope. Okay, if Dev thinks this is good, if Dev thinks this is entertaining, that's a plus for me. So and that's now something I remember weeks later, about that interaction that we had, rather than, like I said, popping in, taking attendance. The tab game hurts nobody and stands to benefit people objectively. So and if you could say that about something, I don't think there's really a legitimate case that you can make against it. If A, it doesn't hurt anybody, and B, it actually helps somebody, I can't sit here and make a case against it. What I will say,
I mean, if you, and again, I don't hate the tabbers. That's not what I'm saying, because I can tell you right now, just based off of the amount of chat engagement I get versus my quote unquote viewership numbers, 50% of my viewers are tabbers. Thank you. This is not a hate, right? Don't think that I'm hating at all. That's not what I'm saying. But when you are, I mean, at one point in time, I even looked at my wife and I was like, I wonder if they're just money laundering. Yeah. Because the whole gift this many subs and then gift this many subs right back to that same person, and that circle, that's kind of shicey to me. I agree. But like I said, I've been very much so. I'm not going to take a side in it. Do you want to know why? I was actually about to hit you with the 2 biggest reasons why I don't do the whole consume a whole lot of Twitch is because then I'm ignorant, and sometimes ignorance is bliss, right?
Sometimes it is, man. I know.
sometimes my wife comes home or she hits me up and she's like, yo, have you seen X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, nope,
sure didn't. And I'm not going to look either. I'm all right on that. I'm all set.
And then the other reason is, yeah, I genuinely want to make sure that if I'm coming to hang out with you, it's because I'm coming to hang out with you. You don't go to your friend's house in real, like, here's the thing. I try to, even though these are, you know, I hate saying this, but like, it's the facts. Even though these are internet relationships to start out with, right? For all I know, I'm getting catfished to hell, right? It is what it is.
Right.
You know,
there's some of that going on too.
I'm waiting for one dude to actually be a woman, because I tell my wife all the time I don't have a lot of female streamers, and then very quickly, all of a sudden, I did have like 3 or 4 female streamers that were showing up regular in my chat, and I was like, of course they are. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But even though it's an internet relationship, I treat this as if I'm going to go out and like have dinner with you, or like go out and go golfing with you. Like, if I'm going to spend time with you, I'm going to make sure that I spend time with you and I am engaged, right? I'm not hurting anybody, no. But if like, and there's plenty of people that I do know that are new streamers that, like, if I know you want that affiliate status, I know you want those emails, yeah, I'll tab you open. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
But I'm not, but I think the difference is like, I'm going to tab you open, but I'm not going to tell you, because I'm not looking for that the
return on that investment of the tab.
Right. I'm not looking for that type, because here's the thing. I think once you speak to someone, regardless if you're a new streamer or you're, you know, a veteran like ourselves, once you speak to someone and you literally only say that one message, like, I'm gonna catch on to the fact that you're literally just saying this one message, right?
Right.
And like,
using
then
my
I'm
chat
like,
for
what did
promo,
you?
like,
Why did you want me to know that you were here? Like, to me, that looks like you're like that kid that goes up in the class and like you needed to raise your hand just for the teacher to pick on you and then say, never mind.
Yeah.
Just for like, that attention for that hot second.
Max, that is energy.
For me, I will, if I mess with you and I know that you're grinding, whatever, I will come down here, and sometimes Kelsey knows I'll go to bed 5, 6 tabs open because of some of these cats that I know are streaming overnight or whatever. I'll leave you tabbed open, but I don't need you to know that I left you tabbed open. Right. And I think that's the biggest difference, is I don't want you to know that I supported you. If I wanted you to know that I supported you, then it's because I came in there, I had the time, I was engaging, and you remembered that interaction 2 weeks after the fact. That's what I'm working on, right? So like, I don't consume a lot. Doesn't mean I don't support a lot, though. And again, this isn't, I don't want anybody creeping in their viewer list to see if I'm in there. You ain't never gonna know, because I got about 3, I'm out here like Kevin Durant. I got about 3 or 4 burner accounts. You'd never know it was me anyways. And if I want you to know it's me, it's because now I know that I can dedicate this time from myself to you. You know what I mean? And that's to me the better way to do it. Like I said, I'm going to treat it like we're going to golf 9. I'm going to interact with you for them whole 9 holes. And once the 9 holes are done, well, if I got to bounce, I got to bounce. Right.
And it's funny. So it's like even just the reporting of the tab, it's like videotaping yourself doing something kind, quote unquote, for someone less fortunate. You run into a homeless guy on the street or whatever, and you get out your selfie stick, and it's like a very similar type of idea, right? Because then it fucks up the reason why you're doing the whole thing. And you know, and I think people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This guy's quote is going to come up, I think, in every single one. It is some TED talk, but like, even just by virtue of reporting on, yo, you know, I got you on the lurk or whatever, you know, pop into the chat, leaving the tab open, like, I don't know, for me, like, don't even bother, because now I know why you're doing that. Or like, even like the even worse example is okay, I just booted up stream myself, but like, see you later, like, I should be live until like 2 p.m. I was like, oh, well, maybe, well, that's around when I end stream. Oh my god, you know what? I might be able to raid you. Right. That's unbelievable. Thank you so much for telling me.
There's a lot of folks that'll know that, like, my journey on Twitch, first of all, let me put it to you like this. When I decided to stream, I never mentioned that I streamed in any other streamer's chat.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
And even so much so, I have so much respect for folks that have been grinding and doing stuff before me, that Here we go. I'll tell you a truth. Behind the scenes, before I decided that I needed to move to the morning because I didn't want someone to feel like I was being disrespectful or trying to
Step on their toes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I literally reached out to them and said, hey, bro, do you mind if I stream in the morning? This is why I want to stream in the morning. X, Y, and Z, mainly because of my daughter, and that was like the guaranteed free time that I had that I could commit to 365 days. And he was like, bro, for sure, you eat, I eat, it's fine, like no worries. And you didn't even have to reach out to me. But I was like, nah, man, I had to, because I didn't want you to think that I was this when I'm not, right? And so like, to me, Rafe is on it with that, where like, if you if you have good interactions, people will find out you stream, right? If you build good interactions in streams and you build good interactions, on social media, people will inevitably find out that you stream, right?
Right.
Again, I'm not hating on, and it sucks, right? Because of the situation, it sounds like we're picking on everyone, and I hate doing that. I'm not generalizing anyone, because I do have people that I know that don't stream or do stream and genuinely just want to pop in on their lunch break or on their cigarette break,
right?
But likely they've already made that notion, and because I am consistent on their days that they are off, they still have conversations. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, I have a couple guys and gals that will come in and hit ! Lurk, or they just go, hey guys, I wanted to say good morning, I'm swamped, or whatever the case is, right? But then on their few days that they're off, or when they have vacation time or whatever, then they are 100% engaged, right? So this doesn't count to everyone. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. And it sucks because immediately, like, we're gonna assume the worst, and I try not to do that, right? Like 100%, like like I said, the positive, right? So 100% I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. But if we are now 3 months in, and that is legitimately the only thing you've done, right? And like, specifically for me, we're like, not only are you doing that every morning, but now at this point you've kind of caught on to the fact that I'm DJ, streaming on Monday nights, streaming on Thursday nights. I have the tea times that randomly pop up with my wife throughout the weekend, like, or I'm doing these other things that we've talked about or whatever. Now I'm to the point where like, you just want to not be forgotten, or you want that little bit of attention. Right. Fine. Like, again, you're not hurting me. You're not whatever. But like, it's just when you pop into the chat, and then on top of that, you are like, hey, by the way, I stream. Hey, by the way, this. And like, but you're not ever actually, or if I ask who should we raid and you say yourself, but you've never really like given into the community. Right. That kind of hits me a little bit different, and like, I'm probably not gonna raid you, because I at this point wouldn't believe that my community that has been so great to me, has been so interactive with me. I try to leave people on a great positive note, like we're already hyped by the time we get done. Right. Why would I want to send them over to you when you couldn't even add to that? Why would I believe that you should kill this energy, right? And so that's the thing. Like, I try to, if we do raid, I try to raid to other folks that I know are gonna be good entertainment, or going to at least match that energy. They're going to appreciate that raid, or whatever the case is. And not everybody will, but like, and I'm not necessarily saying everybody will or whatever, especially if we find like a new person or whatever. But I'll listen. Like, one of the best, I'll say it to this day, one of the best raids that I ever found was Chief Redbeard. I really only chose Chief Redbeard because he was a Cubs fan. Okay. Right? So I was fresh in the Madden Index. I had caught a fat raid from Jugsy that morning. Nice. And I was like, bet, I'm going to pay it forward to somebody else. There was nobody from our friends that was really streaming. I wanted to kind of stay in MLB because I was, building that portfolio up. Clicked on the index, saw Chief Redbeard had only like 2 viewers in there. I had him muted to the stream. It was just like listening to him a little bit behind the scenes. And I was like, oh, you guys are going to love this guy. He's great. Yeah. He's really good. And Chief Redbeard remembered that and has come to the stream every single morning basically since, and we have hell, we're planning to go to the Shed Aquarium soon, hopefully.
That's a beautiful thing. That's like the best case scenario for a raid like that. Like, I feel like we've done it and it's been great. You find someone who might come back and say hello another time. We've also had, Up and Adam had a bad one. EA, Rafe told us a story about the EA raid that went sour, and that's why they don't just raid randoms anymore. But I'm of the same mind, man. Like, I look for, I'll definitely come back with another raid if it feels like the streamer is excited to have us, like whatever that means. Like, I'm not necessarily saying yell at us and make a big fuss about it, or it doesn't need to be,
acknowledge it though. Like, acknowledge that it happened. Do you know what I mean? And I feel bad because sometimes that they're new, right? And that they genuinely didn't see it, right? But, like, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you didn't see the raid, if you at least look over and notice the chat blowing up, right? But that's like, minimum. Once you've gotten like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and you ain't even noticed the chat blowing up, then that becomes a little bit like, all right, well,
yeah, I'm probably not going to be back here.
You're still, you're learning. And sometimes I'll even reach out to those guys after the fact. Like, I had a guy, Kelso, remember, I had a guy who was actually dual streaming. Kels, do you remember this story? My man was dual streaming. He was streaming on Facebook and Twitch at the same time. Okay. You could tell that he was actively talking to people, right? But it wasn't us. So I, doing my little research, trying to figure it out, found him on Facebook, sent him a message on his Facebook chat like, hey, bro, I just raided you. I just don't want you to lose out on this additional viewership. Like, I really like your energy. Like, keep up the good work. And he goes, oh, shit. And like looks over and like sees that I raided him with all these people. Right. And he's like, oh, damn, like, my bad. I had the chat behind it because nobody was in here and blah, blah, blah. Like, so like, if I can find you or like reach you in a way to let you know, like, and dude was hella grateful. He was super excited about it. Like, and he said that like his Twitch really hadn't been popping off. Facebook had been the better move or whatever. So it was behind his Facebook chat. So he literally couldn't see it. But yeah, like, it was pretty cool.
That's good, and he never would have known unless you like took that extra little step to give him the heads up. Well done there, Dev, saving the day, big raid and saving the day a little bit there.
So, but no, man, it's fun. It is what it is. Like, you got to. The biggest thing I can tell anybody, I don't know if you have anybody up and coming, but if you're looking to break free in the Madden Index or whatever game or whatever later in the year or whatever you're building and you're ready, everything Rafe said is correct. The only caveat I would add to that is just add value, like legitimately. Like, even though Rafe is a troll, like, I look forward to troll Rafe. Right. I love wholesome Rafe when he's working out. Right. Like, troll Rafe when he comes to visit my chat. Troll Rafe when he's trolling me all day with Mila Kunis memes because he thinks my wife looks like Mila Kunis. Like, legitimately, like, troll Rafe is the best Rafe. But I understand that, and me and Rafe built a relationship from J-Dub's channel, right? Sure. Like, a lot of guys that I met that really kind of followed me was in Jay's channel. Right. What also happened was, I think Rafe can attest to this, I never once self-promoted in Jay's channel. Never once self-promoted in Jay's channel. Jay found out that I streamed because he kind of just knew who I was and followed me on socials and saw me go live one night.
That's how you want it to happen.
Right. And then I would just still be creating like that value in his channel to where Jay wanted people to know, like, hey, yo, Dev got a vibe similar to mine. Yeah. He goes out Like he goes out and streams similar to me. So like you guys that are more in the evening vibe, that ain't for me, but like go check Dev out. Like I never asked for this. I never promoted it. I'm always very grateful for it.
Sure.
Like, and that's what I try to do. Like I just try to add value wherever I go, even if it can't be a lot of stops. And again, there isn't, like Rafe said, there isn't a right way or a wrong way. I can just give you like, you know, my little nuggets that have helped me along the way. But and the second biggest thing is, which is, like I said, this YouTube will be about, is interaction.
Yeah.
It does not matter what game you play. Choose a game that you like right out of the gate, that you can play for a while, because then you will build a community within that game. But if you are interactive, your chat will like you, and it won't matter what they play, whether it's Metal Gear Solid from 1997 out here looking at triangles for shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
2014 NCAA football, where it looks like you're basically playing next gen Madden anyways.
I know, it's the same stuff.
You know
We're out here.
Like,
that's right.
To Hitman 3, to hell, I did a 24-hour stream and we had so much fun playing GeoGuessr. Like I'm talking, you can literally play anything as long as you create a community of people that like you. And here's the thing, you got to understand, I understand I'm black. People are going to dismiss me just because I'm black. And it is what it is. I've had plenty of people be in my chat, call me the N-word. I've been DDoSed attacked. I've been, you know, all kinds of things, literally live on stream, right? All because of me being a black man.
Can't believe
whatever,
it
that. Doesn't matter, bullshit. Brother. Listen, unless I'm blind, for the last 32 years of my life, I've been black. So you not saying nothing that I haven't already heard.
Black
so like,
and handsome is a devil. My goodness gracious!
Get under my skin and think that I'm gonna get in my bed and be upset. And you know what I'm doing? I'm laughing at your sorry ass. Because I feel bad for you. I'm laughing at you first because you thought that you were gonna come in there and break me. He's never heard anybody call him the N-word before. Here's my moment to strike.
Right?
Man, please.
Goodness
stop.
Gracious. Keyboard.
And number two, I feel bad for you because you woke up and obviously there's something going on in your life that you feel like you need to spew that hate. So you should probably go and seek some help. You gotta probably go and seek some help. Straight up.
You gotta live as that person all the time, man. I get to be me all the time. I get to be black and handsome and great, and you have to wake up as you every fucking day, bro. Ugh, God.
Fendler, let me tell you, okay? If I am married to Mila Kunis, well, damn it, it's damn good to wake up next to her every day.
Dev, man.
And ain't nothing that you can say to me on the internet, on Twitter, on Twitch, in my DMs. You call my damn phone. There is nothing that you can say or do that is going to change that. So I have no reason to actually be upset. Because it doesn't matter.
Dev wins at the end of the day. Dev, man, dude, I cannot believe that it seems like we literally just got on. We've already been on for an hour and 20 here. I know I said I was going to keep you for around about an hour, man. I feel like I could do this for another couple. Last question I have for you before, if you want to leave us with anything to wrap up our showtime, bro. First, I mean, what a fucking honor and a pleasure it was to have you on. I feel like I could do this legitimately every day. But one of Mrs. Dev's many dubs, you know, notable among which is you, this handsome mother father. 88 Cent. Can you?
Oh my God!
I gotta add. Is this a nickname? Is this a nickname for you? 88. There's a story here, right? Is there? What? It's 88 Cent now.
So really, this story is super fresh. I 88 Cent. I just found out that I was 88 Cent just, I don't know, like 48 hours ago.
Oh, this was recent. Oh no. Okay. Surprise.
Yeah, just Monday. Actually,
this
the same day that you had, you know, Texas on there.
Hot off the presses. Then
this is how the Mila Kunis conversation started to begin with, right? And so I said, look, if she's Mila Kunis, I'm 50 Cent, because people used to say I looked like 50 Cent back in the day.
Sure.
She gonna say, chat, okay, mind you, this is my wife. My wife is a savage. Let me put this out there first. So don't ever think that you can sweet talk my wife. She's going to find out and she's going to be a savage. Understand?
I'm scared.
Okay? She literally hits me with the, if you're 50 Cent, you're actually 88 Cent because you carrying a little bit extra than 50.
Oh no, she didn't do that, no. She's
live on twitch.tv/ThatDudeD3V.
So other people heard that?
Lots of people heard it.
Oh my
Lots
God.
of people heard it. I think it might even be clipped. You might be able to find a clip of it. I think somebody clipped it. She literally turned to me and then made herself laugh so hard she had to stand up out of her chair in the corner with real tears in her eyes, chat. She was so gassed. She was so gassed, bro.
Bro,
She's
when it's
like,
funny,
listen,
it's funny. Even if you're the one to say it, when it's funny, it's funny.
If you're 50 Cent, then you obviously are 88 cent because you carrying a little bit more than 50. I was sick.
That's devastating. That's
and
devastating.
then what did I do? And then what did she do, chat?
Ended stream? Did you move out?
Or? Removed from this?
Okay.
Now, but 2 days removed for this. What did her and my daughter do? Make me some damn cupcakes. So obviously, 88 cents I will stay.
Damn, 88 cents looking more like 92, 93 cents, huh? Still not quite a dollar, but a pretty good value at that, right?
Hey, great value. Great value, 50 cents.
Great value, Michael Strahan. Dev, man, as a family man, I'm sure you got 1,000 better things to do than to sit on here with me. It has been an honor and a pleasure to have you, bro. I hope that we're able to do this again, like very soon, very, very soon. Is there anything, sir, that you would like to leave us with before I let you get on for the day with Mrs. Dev and Dev the Small? Thank you, man. This has been dope. You're a legend.
This is two things. Number one, if you want to see, for those of you who haven't seen Riley, I could bring Riley down here real quick.
Are you gonna do the no? Were you watching the Trumpet Monkey thing? Don't have me walk into no trap. Trumpet Monkey pulled his head out. Do I want to see Baby Monkey? I was like, oh, yeah, I do. And he's got a garden gnome. And now here I am looking silly.
No,
Riley, IRL? Yes.
Riley would love to come down here and say hi, chat. She would lose it.
Yeah, I'm available. I'm not doing anything better.
All right, we'll do it. All right. Kelsey's clearly listening. I can already hear Riley running around. So clearly she knows that it's about to be. But okay, so that will be number one. Number two is the biggest thing I want to leave you with, chat. Like no cap, it's every single thing, whether it's the YouTube videos or my streams, like every single time we leave it with this. Truly believe in yourself, right? Actually wrote this quote came from a book that I'm reading and I really liked it. So I'm going to say this to you and then I'm going to tell you what it is. But listen, comfort is a casualty of growth. Okay. And I've been fighting with that myself, especially with this whole YouTube thing. There's something about not being able to be live and react right away with you all that just absolutely scares the piss out of me, but we're working on it. So comfort is a casualty of growth. If you aren't willing to put your comfort at risk, you'd better prepare for a mediocre life. I really want y'all to just think about that for a second, right? So like if you
hold on, it came back last time. Hold on. Oh no, come on, not like this. Hold on, he automatically came back last time it froze for a second there. Give it a second. His Comcast has been being the worst this morning. Oh, come on. Fight, internet. Fight, internet. Come on. Is there a massive hype train in the channel that I gotta address too? No, I'm saying right shot, not... Oh, wait, Dev, you're back. Dev, you're back, brother.
Oh my goodness. I was like, Comcast wants me not to be great.
Not to be great? Okay, hold on. You were about to recap the quote that you read. You only read the quote for us one time. Would you mind reading us the quote one more time?
Yeah, so here we go.
Yeah.
So comfort is a casualty of growth. If you aren't willing to put your comfort at risk, you'd better prepare for a mediocre life. And that resonated with me, right?
That's
so
huge.
Like I said, I've been struggling with the YouTube thing, but like I read this yesterday, and it resonated with me so hard. Like I wrote it down because I wanted to share it, and I think it's huge. Like it's a big W. So I'll read it one more time.
Love
Comfort is a casualty of.
Come on, Comcast. Come on, you motherfather, Comcast. I got the clip of it. I have enough of it that I can clip it too. We'll be able to clip that out. No, Comcast does not want Dev to be great at all. I want to see Riley too. Comcast has been the opposite of inspirational this morning. Come on, Comcast, fight a little bit for us now. Come on. Let's wish this man upload speed. Megabytes per second coming your way. This is a massive hype train in the channel right now too, boys. Golly, I'm gonna get to all this action. Come on, Comcast. Come on, Comcast. Not doing this with you. It's coming. He's coming back right now expeditiously, man. I'm feeling it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We believe, Comcast. Same thing that happened before is maybe like 60 seconds and then it like rushed to catch up, quick gray, and then he came back. Get Comcast being fucking trash. Bring in Riley? I know everyone's on the edge of our seats for Riley, the hopeful Riley sighting here. Should I try to disconnect and reconnect him? Maybe he should try to come in and out of our call, potentially. Saying he's still online. Still looks handsome as ever, you know what I mean? Who's in the channel? Let me say hello to a couple of y'all good-looking mother fathers. Dre knows, what's good, bro? Yeah, quick little reconnect here. I think he's got it. Dev! Hey! No!
The Comcast node up.
Bro, look at Comcast looking so stupid.
Here we go. Hello?
We got you, Dev. You're gonna get this sign off if it's the last thing we do. We're gonna fight.
Yeah, that's cool. We're just on LTE. We'll just, appreciate the LTE. But no, man, long story short, listen. So that means, unfortunately, you won't get to see Riley because I don't know what's going on with my internet. I'm about to go blow the whole Comcast node up and make them put a new one in.
You better get after him.
No, man. So straight up, you just want to Comcast using SDS servers. You ain't lying. Yeah, it's back up. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Look at Comcast, man. Crazy. There he is, man. Still look good.
All right, here we go. Listen, long story short, do not live in your comfort zone. You want to step out of it because if you live in your comfort zone, you're going to have a mediocre life.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you're never going to have growth. It's as simple as I can put it for you.
It's not about how many times Comcast fails you. It's about how many times you hit that MF and refresh and get back on that camera.
Thanks.
Dev, man, you're an absolute legend. Whoa, we got a Riley sighting potentially? We do. She's so cute. Hi, Riley. What's going on?
Is that she's looking around like what?
Hey, Riley. What's going on? Hello from me and my friends. We were talking to Dad. Oh yeah, hold on. That needs to get moved. Hey, Riley. What's going on? I love your headband. Your shirt is so cool. I love your shirt.
What do you say? You say thank you. You blow a kiss?
Oh, my heart. Beautiful. Everyone says hello. Oh man, Riley, you're a superstar. You're the real star of the show, aren't you? My goodness gracious. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I need a headband like that one.
There you go, wave with the camera.
Wow.
Hey, you're over there. You know what you're doing.
Superstar. Look at you. Oh my, thank goodness you look like Mom, right?
Thank goodness.
Beautiful. Indeed. Wow. Hey, Riley.
Say bye-bye.
She's so confused.
She's just thrown off because we can actually hear you on the left side, but she sees you on the right side.
A little bit of a delay. She's like, wait a minute, he's over here. He's in both places at once? That's right, Riley, I'm a magician. Dev, man, you're an absolute legend. So much love from me, from the congregation, for your time this morning. Man, it was a pleasure to see Riley, to get a little glimpse behind, the man that we all know you to be. Remarkable, bro. I appreciate you sharing everything you did with us today. You're a legend, and I think I hope to count myself among your friends for a long time to come.
Hey, man, like I said, man, you're always welcome, man. You keep doing the right things, and everything will be just fine.
Dev, that's a beautiful thing, man. I've been Fend. This has been Dev. Man, maintain intensity. Be better than your opponents, and we'll catch you in the next time. Dev, you're a legend, man. Thank you again.
Hey, thank you, bro.